What's up, everybody? Welcome to Off the Rails, a recovery podcast dedicated to ending the stigma of addiction through open discussion on all things recovery related. My name is Mark, and with me always are Dave and Jared. And today we're shooting the sober shit. What's up, fellas?
Much, man, just chilling. I'm just hanging out in a hotel in Timmins, Ontario.
Sweet.
Yeah, beautiful Timmins.
Is there anything to do up there?
I don't know. We got here for the hockey tournament, NOHA's finals. So yeah, should be a good weekend. Hopefully the team's ready to go.
How were your guys' weeks?
Busy.
Jared stays hustling with the side jobs.
Side jobs, regular work, podcast, balancing family life can get a little stressful. But we're good, sober. It's all that matters.
Just a busy guy.
It was a good week, though. It's always a good week, sober.
You, Mark?
I just am so happy when I wake up every morning and grateful to be alive now. It's an incredible feeling.
It is.
Don't you think?
I agree big time.
It is good. It is nice.
Man, my week's been wicked. Settling in here in Lethbridge, trying to get the house organized and get the life together. Started back at the gym.
My man.
So I don't know. I remember how much I used to love that, and I kind of fell out of my regular routine during active addiction, and I'm really excited to have that back there, and look forward to continuing exercising.
You're looking shredded already.
Thanks to 2 days in.
Yeah, I would just mail it in now. You're done.
No, man. Yeah,
That's what I always do. That I'll go to the gym, lose a bunch of weight, get in shape, then I just let myself go every single time.
Not this time.
Well, I haven't been to the gym, but like I haven't been drinking pints and bloating alcoholic drinks every night in copious amounts.
Yeah, that helps a lot. I said to Rebecca yesterday, I was like, frig, man, I forgot how this made me feel. And I was like, I'm going to chase this feeling. So, yeah, there we are. Dave, how's your week, man?
It's good. I was just going to say worst things you could be doing than spending time at the gym. If you're going to get it, doing something a lot of, I don't want to say addicted to, but you do something a lot, the gym's probably a good place to be. My week's been okay, man. As you guys know, I had a bit of a meltdown the other day, but besides that, it's been good.
You didn't drink.
Did not drink, handled it. It was like one of those things of like starting like handling those emotions without turning to alcohol, which, when you're stressed out, tend to be what I would do a lot. And I was like, just basically what happened is we did an episode and it was like big guest. We were all super pumped about it. And first of all, it was an amazing interview. She was awesome. You guys were awesome. But my internet at the cottage, because I hotspot my laptop to my phone, it was kind of spotty. And I guess you guys didn't really notice, but a couple times I tried to like jump in and it was cut off, and then like she froze, and I'm like, fucking, it just threw me right down a dark hole. I was like, couldn't get out of it, and I was sour for about a day and a half, and then then it made me, and then I thought of something. I was going for a walk, and I think I put so much into the podcast as far as like it being a pretty big recovery tool for me, and it's almost like I've kind of let some other things go, and so that wasn't going well. I don't know if that was a big factor, right? Like I hadn't gone to a meeting yet this week, and I'm probably not going to go. Maybe I should do something online now that I'm in Timmins, but like, so I kind of just let that slip. Like, I haven't been saunaing lately, so I don't know if that was part of it too. I just been like, basically the podcast stuff's been awesome. I've been enjoying doing it. I found it very helpful, but maybe because it didn't go how I wanted it to or whatever, it would just put me in dark place, but I'm back. I'm feeling good. You guys helped me through it, and
I didn't even know you were freezing or anything. I thought you were just not talking.
that was, I don't want to spoil the episode, but when Dave jumped in and said something, and she's like, is that Dave hasn't talked this whole episode? Is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah, comes in and roast her.
I wrote it at the end. Well, I started off the interview. I was fine, and then like I noticed it starting to freeze, and I was like, shit. And then a couple times like I started talking, I was like for like 5 seconds, and Mark was already Mark was talking, and like he started talking as I'm like, I must be frozen, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then you guys didn't notice, so that's at least that's good. So anyway,
Glad you're feeling better, man. Like you mentioned, it's I find when I'm in like a shitty spot, I find it doesn't take much to like look back and see what I'm not doing, right?
yeah.
Whether it be journaling or going for walks or saunaing in your case. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like a couple like meltdowns to like where when you're like so I don't know, mentally exhausted or mad, and it's like that feeling in your whole body where before you would always just drink and you'd be like, oh, I feel fine now, or do drugs.
Yeah.
But then Bree's always telling me, or whoever, they're like, well, you're like not doing your highs and lows, you're not doing your check-ins, so like you gotta keep up with the stuff or else you're gonna just crumble.
Yeah.
Well, me.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. Yeah, you got to use the tools that like work for you.
yeah, like this podcast is a big tool, but say if we don't do it for a week, then what tool are you using?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I still go to meetings, but you need to do more than just meetings.
Yeah.
Like,
You still love your meetings?
I love my meetings. I missed one yesterday or Tuesday because we had that
Our guest.
our guest, yep, sorry. Potato brain.
See what happens when you miss a meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even
those
think
meetings.
properly. Yeah, and the one guy from the meeting messaged me, he's like, we missed you this week. Is everything all right? So I'm like, yeah. So I asked him to be my sponsor. So I got a sponsor.
Sweet.
Well, that's good.
That is
Just
awesome.
under, I think we had 6 months to get a sponsor. And I got one
You just asked.
just before the 6 month mark.
You just asked them today or last night?
Tuesday night.
Oh, okay.
Craig, I don't have a sponsor yet. I'm gonna start going to there's 3 meetings here a week, so I'm gonna start going to them in person. I'm gonna plan it out right.
Well, now that you're like in a destination too, that you're gonna be in for a while, you can actually be comfortable going and making friends and stuff. Now making friends and having to leave. So
yeah, absolutely.
So should we talk about Mrs. Soba Sista Megan?
Yeah.
Sister.
Soba Sista Megan.
We should talk
from Boston.
Is that your Boston accent?
I don't know. I
love that. Yeah, I'm down. We just released our episode. It was sweet.
Yeah.
I love how she talked about we just talk about all things recovery, not just men's. So I liked how she talked about the culture, the mom culture with wine.
Yeah, the mommy wine culture.
Yes, not all moms, but it is a pretty big thing. You see it everywhere.
Yeah, you really do.
Like you were saying, even on babies' onesies and on the bottom of socks and like everywhere.
Yeah.
I just wish alcohol wasn't so normalized because it ruins lives. But
yeah,
I
agree with you. I think it was cool to have that perspective of her kind of diving into that part, and it's also probably relatable for a lot of women. Like she went through a divorce, single mom of two. Seems like she's busy with work, like probably stressful job and trauma unit. And then, yeah, like just the wine thing being normalized as far as like, that's how you reward yourself for working hard and raising kids. Right. So, doesn't really, some people are able to have those couple glasses of wine, I guess, and that's it and be fine. But other people, I think it's a slippery slope once you start.
I was talking to my buddy and he actually has it. He can go and he can have one beer, shut her down, or he can go have like a few, shut her down. And I was saying, I'm like, I just don't have that. And he's like, I know, not many people do.
Yeah, it's a fun concept for me.
Yeah. But I think a lot more people are struggling than out there than actually people would know. It's just, you don't really like, it's not really talked about very much.
Yeah. One thing she talked about was like she didn't want her ex to find out about like what she was doing with her recovery and stuff like that. And I've heard that from like several people that I've met. Like they're nervous to come forward with getting help and seeking treatment and talking about their story because of their ex using that against them, against their like in court or against them to get their kids or whatever. Man, I think that sucks. Like,
well, it's such a crazy backwards thing, right? Like someone's trying to get healthy and better themselves, and like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I find. It's like it really messes with me a bit because it's such a
Plus-
good thing.
Plus, like, it's like proven to be a disease. Like, people don't get shamed on for having cancer, but if you have an addiction, then people shame.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah, what we're like, this podcast is hopefully bringing awareness to that. Because
Yeah.
it's
So,
people in all walks of life, like we know, can have this disease.
yeah. And like,
And oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I think more people, if they weren't scared to be shamed about it or whatever, would come forward and try to seek help. But
Yeah. That's that really mess with me because like if you're like you have kids and one hand you want to get help and you want to come forward and admit that you have like a problem and get help so you can better your life and your kids' life. But instead you're kind of like there's that like those negative reinforcements of getting it used against you. Then why would you when going into recovery is going to help you and your kids every single time, right? I don't.
And it forces you to hide it more too. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's just all bad.
I think that's a good question I know everyone's situation is probably different, but like, I don't know if we have any viewers out there, listeners that are in the court system that would know the answer to that. Like, would you have a case like an ex if their spouse or ex-spouse was going to get help? Like, do they have a case to kind of get the kids away? Like, I don't actually know, or is that just like a fear that they have that it's not actually a reality? I don't know myself, but
I just can't see how it can be a bad thing.
No.
Right. But people are nervous about coming forward with that, and that sucks. So yeah, that was one of the things I took away from her episode. I really like her group that she has. She has her Soba Sisters group meeting, I think 3 times a week, right?
Yeah, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the other thing I was going to mention too quickly was just that, I know some people that were like, with kids and stuff like that, or single moms, or it's like, well, they can't really, one, maybe afford to go to rehab, or they don't have the time because of the kids and whatever. So they need a different avenue than per se I took. And I can only relate to kind of what I did or, what you guys did. But so hearing her story and kind of how she did it, and it was, I think will be helpful for a lot of people too, because I think it was a cool she kind of broke it all down, right? She did like a 3-month online course and then some meetings, and you'll have to listen to the rest though to
Yeah.
know what
And
happened.
she took those that medication.
Fluoxazone.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I'm not a doctor anymore. Or anymore. I've never been a doctor. I'm burnt. All right,
I thought I thought you were saying that on purpose.
let's wrap her up.
Yeah, we done with this episode.
No, we got that. Don't we have a question or something?
Oh yeah. What was the question? Let me get it. 1 second, fellas. Here it is. Do you think mental illnesses such as anxiety and depression lead to addiction, or can addiction lead to other mental health issues? I can only speak personally again, and maybe we'll bring out a guest and talk about concurrent disorders, right? So a lot of things go hand in hand, and with me personally, I use drugs to like cope with my anxiety and my depression, and at the end of the day, that like amplified my anxiety and depression. I wasn't self-medicating, but I was actually making it way worse. So once I was able to get sober, I was able to start working on my mental health, and that was so crucial to my recovery. So that's just my personal opinion on it. I think a lot of times, like, the addiction side of it poured fuel onto a fire of my mental health, and kind of depleted. And now I was able to focus. I was able to get rid of the addiction and work on my mental health, really, if that makes any sense.
No, totally.
What about you?
Yeah. I don't know. I've always struggled with like very low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, and I think alcohol was just like a way for me to, I don't know, get the confidence I needed, or feel like I was good enough, or was hanging around the right people, or stuff like that. And even like when I started smoking weed, I think my mental health problems were kind of triggered from weed. I smoked a lot of weed, and then I quit weed. And then after I quit weed, I had like debilitating anxiety, depression, and suffered from panic attacks all the time. So I think it can go both ways, is my personal opinion. But I definitely think that underlying mental health issues and the gene for the disease of addiction is all plays a part in it. Yeah, like I said, alcohol and drugs made me feel like I was happy at the time, and they just ended up killing all my emotions. I couldn't even, you guys know what I was like when I was at Newgate. I could barely formulate a sentence. So I don't know, like when I was drinking, I could talk everyone's ear off and make sense. And I thought like everything was better. I was doing things better drunk. Meanwhile, I was just killing myself and killing my self-esteem even more. And my confidence, and I would just have to drink to get it all back every single day. So that's my kind of take on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no. Totally. I agree with both you guys. Like, I don't have much more to add as far as my kind of situation, but I can only speak about myself. But I think, anxiety and depression, if you have those, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to become an addict. And I would say I don't even remember, like, I think I had some, anxiety and depression, maybe mild. I don't know how serious, but like this before I started drinking, like I don't remember back then. So I don't know how bad it was or anything. But all I do know is that I was definitely super depressed at the end of it all. And there was no way I was getting, be getting out of it if I didn't stop drinking. Like I couldn't fix my mental depression state if, just by going on medication and continuing to drink. That wasn't going to happen. It was clearly that I needed to stop drinking. And to further that point too, like, we're talking about the gym and stuff like that with Mark too, is like anytime, like drinking was always a thing that kind of ruined my routine of that too. It was like, if I was ever in a good spot with, eating healthy or going to the gym, it was usually, starting to drink again that took that all away as well. Right. So it was like, now that you don't have that, I find it easier to develop good habits that don't get ruined. Right. Like,
Yeah, that's an awesome point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the addiction takes away from the things that help your mental health, right?
Yeah. That's all you want to do is. So.
Yeah, that was awesome. Man, so myself and Dave, Jared, were talking earlier about our diets during active addiction. Well, we're waiting for you. So how bad was your diet during active addiction?
Oh man, this is going to be a weird thing to talk about because it was good.
It was good.
Well, like
that's fine if it's good, man. Just I'll share how bad mine was if you want.
No, like it went on spurts, but near the end, like I don't know. It depended. Like when I was trying to lose weight, I was drinking vodka, going on the treadmill, just water, vodka, salads only for like 3 months. I lost 80 pounds.
It's not recommend that though to people.
No.
Good. Oh, it's not a healthy weight loss plan.
So like the food was good, but the vodka was not. Like I was drinking before I went on the treadmill or went for a run, I would probably drink like a Mickey. And then after I would just, drink like probably another Mickey and then drink till I passed out, wake up, eat good for the whole day or whatever, and just do it all over again every single day. And I ended up, I don't know, the diet part was good. I was eating healthy, was not actually healthy. I was convinced I was healthy. That was the point where I actually convinced myself that I was sober for 3 months, even though I wasn't. That's how fucked up I was. It was the most fucked up thing. And I was started to think about that like 3 weeks into Newgate. I'm like, what? How did I think that? I was telling everyone I was sober. And myself. Like,
well, your pre-workout was vodka water.
Yeah. And my post-workout.
Well, you can kind of hide it, I guess, right? When you're like
vodka protein shakes.
Yeah. When you're having like results and like losing weight, so you can kind of hide it and be like, I'm losing. Look how healthy I'm doing right now, right?
But yeah, like my diet still struggles too now. Like I don't know, I eat salads at work, but I don't know, just get bored and start eating like McDonald's or something pretty bad late at night.
I was telling Mark about how much money I wasted just on muffins alone. Cause I used to like in the morning, I'd get like a large coffee and a muffin from Tim's, and like the muffin would just sit on my desk at work all day long. And I just have coffees all day. And then when I finished work, would just go home, grab 12 tall boys and 2 bags of chips. And that was what I ate a lot. That wasn't every day, but that was like consistently a lot.
Yeah. That's what was
and then you'd skip the dishes, more pints.
Yeah. The cheapest thing on the menu, I had pierogi. I don't know if I said that. A pierogi place. It was like super cheap. It was like $5 for a plate of pierogies.
Yeah, I would just be big on the takeout. Like I'd wake up, be starving because I haven't eaten in a couple days. Order as much takeout as possible, get it to the house, eat it, and then be like, let's get some drugs. Yeah, it was bad. All right, fellas, should we wrap this up?
Heck yeah.
Shit, yeah. All right, guys, if you or someone you know would like to be a guest on our podcast, hit us up, comment, send us a message, email us. We're here. If you are looking to get help, reach out. and ask for some help. We could point you in the right direction. Anyway, cheers. See you guys.
Peace.
Ciao.